Hello, this is Uncle Jim, and these are to keep your safe dry. These are made by Canon, and I really like them. I've had them a long time, and they're easy to recharge. So they're filled with changing silica that turns colors and lets you know when you got moisture and you got to dry them out. And so they'll turn blue to pink, and they have enough in them to where you're not changing them all the time unless you're in a really humid environment. So it's time to redo these, and the one in the middle here with an X would turn pink faster than the other two. And these safes are all in the same location, bolted together. So it's not location and moisture. It's this one's wearing out faster. These are still hanging in there, and all of them, you put them in the oven and they'll turn blue again. But this one I'll probably dump out. So today is about recharging them on the cheap. And they take up a little space in the safe. Usually put it over on top in a corner, whatever. Where your rifles are, and then your pistols up above, whatever you got. However, they do last longer because they're bigger. So I like these because they got a window on here, and then I noticed that you can take the window out and replace it. So normally when they turn pink, they say on the bottom here it's got instructions. It's going to be noisy. Okay, 325 degrees for at least 3 hours. All right. So what we're going to use here is a much cheaper method. I think these were like $20 unless you get them on sale, something like that. I try and get them on sale. So we're going to refill them with this. And it looks like this, and it's the same size. Okay, so that's good. And let's see, what's this company? Dry company, I guess. Reliable and trustworthy. 30 years experience in silica gel desiccant. All right, 30 years. Hopefully in the USA. This is 1 gallon, so 8 pounds. And you have your color change here. And what's nice about this is the reactivation is a half hour to 2 hours at 250 degrees. Okay. And I don't know if I'd try this, but it says you can microwave for 10 minutes on the defrost setting. Anyway, that's pretty cool. So, 8 pounds. My son wants, the leftovers for his. He's got those plug-in kind that reheat that I gave him, and they go pink a lot faster than these. All right, he didn't like them. So everything's the same size. Now I weighed one of these, and with the container, it's just over 2 pounds, and this is 8 pounds in the container. So I'll fill them up. They're about that much, so not full volume. Okay, so I can save the sun some. And for some reason this one went out faster than the other, so I will save these two in a baggie and use them for something else, maybe a little homemade container. Now you guys can, wherever you shop, Amazon, whatever, you guys can go out and get some of this. And it's going to be a lot cheaper. I forget what this costs, but it's a lot cheaper if you count these three and an extra half or one. So anyway, they have a nice little window here that doesn't burn in the oven. I've cooked these a million times. We're in a pretty dry environment, but winter and everything else. So they got these 3 little rivets here, kind of things, kind of deal. And if you're really careful, like that, they'll pop right out and they'll go right back in. So you save your little window there. All right. And I don't know what this yellow looking stuff is. But you can see these turn pink and almost white on this one, where these were still had a bluish hue. So it's about the same size. Let me, yeah, it's about the same size, maybe a hair smaller, these are, than this. Now, if you were to make your own containers, you got to make sure it's very fine, because there's bits and particles that break up and it'll just make a mess, especially if you shake them around. I like to shake them around a little bit now and then. And we thought about, what are we going to do for a container for my son? And he's like, well, I can get some of this aluminum screen for screen windows and stuff. Aluminum, something you can put back in the oven. And then put it, just put it in a container that's exposed and capped. You could have it just open in a container, but if you spilled it, knocked it over, that would be ugly. Anyway, you guys can figure it out. We're going to figure it out. So you can do it on the cheap. You can hang it from a sock. I don't know. If you want to reheat it, just pour it into a pan and put it in the oven. It doesn't matter. That's probably what he might do with this. Just hang it in a nylon or a sock or something. All right, whatever you do is don't ever let this kind of stuff, the little packets that you get when you buy things, don't ever let that touch your firearm or anything blued that you like. Okay, because I've seen people put them in rugs. And a friend of mine blued guns professionally. And I said, what happened to this gun? And he said, oh, he had the little packet next to the nose of his pistol. And the whole front end of the pistol was rusty because that packet got moist. And it sat next to the nose of the pistol. So if you guys are one of those guys, it's time to change your ways. All right. So I'm going to dump these out. And then refill them, and then we'll see how much we have left. So if you have something similar to this, you'll get a good idea of what 1 gallon, which is 8 pounds here, will do. Company looks pretty good. They're nice and bright, and I don't have to charge them before I put them back in the safe. So that's good. All right. Okay, we're done, but I have some advice. Some learning tips here. So as you can see, this one container that always crapped out first, that one's totally shot, where these two were still turning. Okay, so this is probably done. I mean, it works, it'll still turn blue, but it turns, it loses its charge a lot faster. So there's the difference there. Now, you don't want to do this in your reloading room. It's messy. There's little chunks from the old stuff. The new stuff is nice round ball. It didn't have too much debris at all. So I went out in the garage and did this. Don't do this in your reloading room, okay? Put newspaper down, dumped most of it out right into the container. And then this has a lip on it, so you can't get it all out. You got to shake it and jump it up and down because it doesn't want to funnel out. So I just took a grocery sack, a plastic sack, put it over there and just shook it up and down and got most all of it out. So there it is now, nice and blue, purpley. Oh, that's not going to work without a flashlight. There we go. Compared to, all right. So, as far as putting them back together, it's really easy. Put the window back in, if you have one of these. And that's it. Bam. That doesn't come off. You can turn it upside down. and this doesn't have little frags coming out of it. But these little bastards, you want to put newspaper down. It's kind of like shotgun shot. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. It rolls everywhere. So we contain that. The baggie works good. So these are ready to go. And I filled them as full, if not maybe a little more than how they were store-bought. And that was 3 of them, and we still have that much left. All right, so we can do more than another one of these with this. Okay, maybe 1.5. So that's good, and that was a heck of a deal. So I guess that concludes it. Now I don't have to heat these up before I put them back in the safe. They're ready because the container was sealed, of course. And this brand looks really good. So I'll report back if there's any problems with this brand. I do like that you don't have to heat them as much to recharge them. And at a lower temperature. Maybe I try the microwave thing in a sample. I don't know. But again, you can, we were thinking thrift store or somebody makes a container like this. I don't know, for something. Decorations, I don't know, with the small holes here. But you could probably make one of these or just do the sock thing or the aluminum bug screen and fold it over and fold it together, make a little pancake that's nice and flat in a safe that goes along the wall or something, as long as you seal all the edges, and then you could reheat it. Otherwise, just pour it in a pan and heat it. It's the same thing as this. Just pour it in a container and heat it. And I guess that's it. The only problem was unpouring. We got lots left, so that's 8 pounds. And whoever made this knows what they're doing. It's nice round ball, no fragments coming out. I have a little bit on the desk here from this stuff, just shaking them around. So try not to shake them too much. You know, don't do any powder coating with these. They'll break up and you don't want that in your safe. Alright, I hope you found this interesting. Until next time, thanks for watching.